Dear Patriots, before the news starts, please subscribe to our patriotic channel by clicking the subscribe button. Give us a thumbs up to this video. Don't forget to leave your opinion below in the comments section. Share the news on Facebook and Twitter so you friends see it. Thank you.
Al Franken vows to continue being the champion of women even though he's resigning. Al Franken is officially resigning on January 2. During the Alabama election with Roy Moore, Democrats urged Al Franken to resign as an attempt to have the moral high ground over Republicans when it comes to sexual harassment. As soon as Roy Moore lost, Democrats started to complain that Franken's resignation was unfair and some even suggested he un-resign. Franken gave his first speech since announcing his resignation. "I may be leaving the Senate, but I'm not giving up my voice. Working on behalf of the people of Minnesota has been the honor of my life, and I could not have done this without the help of my family, friends, and supporters. Thank you," said Franken. During his resignation speech, he called himself a champion of women despite what happened. "You know, an important part of the conversation we have been having the last few months has been about how men abuse their power and privilege to hurt women. I am proud that during my time in the Senate, I have used my power to be a champion of women," he said. "And that I have earned a reputation as someone who respects the women I work alongside every day. I know there is a different picture of me painted over the last few weeks, but I know who I really am," said Franken. "Serving in the United States Senate has been the great honor of my life. I know in my heart that nothing I have done as a senator, nothing has brought dishonor on this institution. I am confident that the Ethics Committee would agree," said Franken. The only good baby is a dead baby. Pro-life priest finds a disturbing note on his car. A pro-life Catholic priest, Father Benedict Crowell, visited the University of Virginia where his car was vandalized by a disturbing letter. The letter was apparently in response to a bumper sticker on his car. A quote from Mother Teresa. "Abortion, it is poverty to decide that a child must die so that you may live as you wish," says the bumper sticker, leaving one disturbed person to leave a note that said the only good baby is a dead baby. "Your mother should have aborted you." Crowell made a Facebook post about the incident when he offered his prayers towards the individual. "When I was at UVA recently just before Christmas with a couple of vocation candidates, we came back to our car and checked at the disturbing note we found on the windshield," he wrote. Apparently they were upset at the words of Mother Teresa on our bumper sticker. "Let's storm heaven with prayers for this person. Please pray one Our Father and one Hail Mary for the conversion of the person who wrote the note, for an end to abortion, and for women and men who suffer the effects of an abortion," he wrote. "So many are suffering, and it is important that we have mercy upon them with our prayers. Update, I already offered Mass for the conversion, transformation and deliverance of the person who wrote it," he wrote. Not all heroes wear capes. Watch man scream at Disney's animatronic Trump in protest. Disney recently released an animatronic version of Trump in their Hall of Presidents. In the exhibit, you can see various presidents give inspiring speeches. However, when it came time for Robot Trump to give his speech, one obnoxious man, Jay Malski, New York actor who often plays drag comedy characters, including Hillary Clinton, started screaming. "Lock him up!" screamed Malski. Repeatedly screamed as guests yelled at him, "Shut up!" Malski feels like he accomplished something by screaming at Robot. He went on Twitter to boast about what he had done. "I protested at real Donald Trump at the hashtag Hell if presidents, 'cause I'll never get this close in real life, brobs. Hashtag lock him up," tweeted Malski. Many commenters told him what an idiot he was. "You didn't protest Trump. You just screamed at an animatronic and probably ruined quite a few family vacations. That's just pathetic," wrote Joe Walsh. "Not all heroes wear capes," wrote Ben Shapiro sarcastically. Mowski responded to Walsh on Twitter, "I wish you were as upset about the thousands of children being taken from their parents because of Trump's racist immigration policies, or the hundreds of trans people murdered each year, or the negative impacts of the tax bill on poor Americans as you are about me ruining someone's vacay," he wrote. "They just blame Trump for everything." Warriors coach Kerr goes on crazy rant, says Trump is destroying America's core values. Steve Kerr was a solid basketball player for the Chicago Bulls and has proved himself to be a very good coach, winning 2 NBA championships so far with the previously woeful Golden State Warriors. Just like San Antonio Spurs coach Greg Popovich, however, Kerr clearly feels that his success entitles him to run his mouth in public about how much he does not like Republican President Donald Trump. Earlier this year, Kerr decided to make a point by having his team skip their customary White House visit after they won the NBA Finals. Now the coach decided to meet with a USA Today reporter and go on a rant about how he hates the president. Said Kerr about an essay written by Obama's former U.S. Attorney Sally Yates, "I read it this morning, and I tweeted it. It's fantastic. But there's absolutely an assault on our institutions and on our core values as a country." She tweeted the preamble to the Constitution, which really sums up our country. "And all those things are kind of under attack right now." Steve went on, "One of the things she writes is how important it is to speak the truth, and for people to not be deceived, coerced. That's the entire reasoning behind the structure of our government, you know? Checks and balances. But it goes beyond the checks and balances. It's up to the citizens too, we the people, right? It's not we the president and Congress. It's we the people, in order to form a more perfect union. So, who's the people? You and I are the people, we all are. Steph and Draymond and KD." The coach finished, "So it's important for all of us to call bullshit, and there's a lot of bullshit right now, and propaganda, and misinformation. You can't let that happen. The truth has to always win out, and our institutions and ideals have to win out, so it's important that we speak out." Are you disappointed that Steve Kerr is such a brainwashed liberal? Trump just fired an entire team of Obama loyalists. Dems are flipping out now. When Republican political outsider Donald Trump entered the White House to begin serving as America's 45th president, the federal government was filled with left-wing Barack Obama loyalists at nearly every level. Despite Trump's best efforts to eradicate this problem, the state of the FBI and the Department of Justice proves that President Donald Trump still has a great deal of work to do. Donald got started once again in ridding the government of Obama loyalists by firing all 16 members of the Presidential Advisory Council on HIV/AIDS. Obama's allies were, of course, angry that Trump would dare to push more of Obama's people out of government. Wrote HIV/AIDS activist Scott Soetz on his Twitter account, remaining #HIV/AIDS council members booted by @real Donald Trump. No respect for their service. Dangerous that #Trump and company, Pence especially, are eliminating few remaining people willing to push back against harmful policies, like abstinence-only sex ed. #We object #Pasha6 #resist. Left-wing gay rights and HIV/AIDS awareness group Truevolution CEO Gabriel Maldonado at least had enough common sense to see why the council got shut down. Said Gabriel about Trump and his White House, "Like any administration, they want their own people there. Many of us were Obama appointees. I was an Obama appointee and my term was continuing until 2018. He then added, grumpily, "It is common for appointees to be terminated and for folks to kind of want their own people in. I think where the discrepancy comes in is why a year later, number one. 2, many of us, our terms were over earlier this year and we were sworn back in, and 3 were stayed on nearly 4 months after an executive order was signed continuing the council. Are you glad Trump finally fired these Obama allies?" James Woods slams Elizabeth Warren with a Brutalzinger when she claims she believes in science. President Trump made a tweet today that left many liberals infuriated. In the East, it could be the coldest New Year's Eve on record. Perhaps we could use a little bit of that good old global warming that our country, but not other countries, was going to pay trillions of dollars to protect against. Bundle up, tweeted President Trump. In response, Senator Elizabeth Warren made this tweet. I'm going to say something really crazy. I believe in science. Climate change is real and we have a moral obligation to protect this earth for our children and grandchildren, she tweeted. However, many conservatives rushed to prove that, no, she doesn't believe in science. DNA is also based in science. Yours does not show you are Native American. So either you are an outright liar or you actually don't believe in science. Which is it? #LiUWA tweeted James Woods. Now do the science of fetal development, tweeted Ben Shapiro. Please tell us, big believer in science, when human life begins, tweeted Josh Hammer. How many genders are there, science lady? Tweeted David Rearboy. Science is not a belief system. It's a set of facts. Like the fact that gender is not a choice. Why don't you work on that one for a while, wrote another user.